Hello, Westland residents. My name is Michael Delf. I'm running for council for the city of Westland. For those who don't know me, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm 57 years old. I've lived in the Westland for over 20 years. I work for the city of Farmington Hills. I've been with them for over 25 years. I'm also the chief steward of the ASME Local 1456. I have 3 beautiful children, a son who's 29, 2 daughters, one's 25 years old, the other is 20. And yes, I survived. But not kidding, they're great kids, and I'm proud of them, and I hope they're proud of for what I'm doing. The reason I'm running for council is I want to help the city that you and I live in be a safer and more prosperous city. To do this, I need your vote. I'm asking for your vote. I've been going door to door talking to a lot of residents. The issues that keep coming up are bad road conditions, bad sidewalks, shortage of police and fire, garbage recycle, lead water lines, businesses leaving, residents leaving. None of these are good and shouldn't be happening. For all these issues, I have a detailed plan on how to solve them, solving other issues too. But they're not giving me a lot of time today to go through all these into great details. But if you go to my Facebook site, mdelf for Westland, all one word, you can read how I plan on solving all these issues and more. You can also go to my website, www.votefordelf.com, and read about it there. There's a lot of state and federal grants out there that the city is not using. These funds could help these issues a lot and greatly help our budget a lot. Another issue I keep hearing when I go door to door speaking to the residents, the older adults in the city. Transportation doesn't run 7 days a week. After being dropped off, they're waiting long period of times to be picked up, sometimes hours. This is unacceptable. The Meals on Wheels is only 5 days a week. Older adults that are still homebound rely on this. They need more than 5 days. We need to do more for our older adults, more Medicare help, seminars. Medicare is confusing. Prescription assistance programs. Prescriptions are out of this world. We need better programs. Also, we need to make sure that the Dyer and Friendship Centers grow, stay financially stable for years to come. And this includes the living centers like the Village of Westland and Thomas Taylor Towers. These are all in my detailed plan on how to solve these issues. My experience of 25 years working with municipals, I can and will help Westland. I'm not doing this for a living. I truly do want to help Westland, the city you and I live in. I promise you, when voted into council, I will work for the people of Westland, helping our community, the whole community, not just part of the community. This includes the historic Norwayne and all of Westland. I will not run for any other office out of Westland. Westland, the city you and I live in, that is my main goal. So please, when you have time, check out my plans on Facebook at mdelf for Westland, all one word, or go to the website, www.votefordelf.com. If you have any questions at all, you can message me on either site, or you can call me, 734-560-9274. Again, 734-560-9274. Text or call, it doesn't matter. I'd love to hear from you. I'm very excited about this election, and a vote for me, we can solve these issues. So let's all work together. I want to thank you all for your time, and I would also like to thank WLND, Craig Wallenbeck, for doing these short clips for us candidates. So please, go out and vote this election on November 5th, 2019. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Hello, my name is Timothy Gilbert, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank WLND and their staff in allowing me to speak directly to our residents. My family and I have been residents for Westland for over 20 years, and my children graduates of John Glenn High School. Currently, my daughter is in the police academy, and my son is studying criminal justice. As you can see, we have a long history of community services. My experience consists of being a police officer for the city of Detroit. I also served in the United States Marine Corps. Currently, I own an extremely successful private investigation company. In addition, I'm a board-certified criminal defense investigator, certified forensic interviewer, and I'm licensed able to practice in the states of Michigan, Ohio, Illinois, and Indiana. My involvement within the industry also includes that I am the regional director of the National Council of Investigative and Security Services. As you can see, I'm rooted in Westland. Westland is my home, and I want it to succeed. In the past, I have participated in the John Glenn Booster Club, Tax Increment Financial Authority, otherwise known as TIFA, and a commissioner on the Civil Service Commission Board. Currently, I sit on the board of the Westland Chamber of Commerce, a member of the Westland Rotary, and a member of the Veteran of Foreign Wars. Each of these opportunities in which I serve has given me a unique perspective on how to run the city and how we can improve upon our quality of life, our business community, and our public safety. My vision as your city council person is to help build upon the city's success. My vision also includes to improve city services and infrastructure, also increase public safety and generate new streams of revenue. There is one of the ideas that I would like to see going forward in our city. This is an idea that allows our fire and EMS to provide proactive medical care to the people in need. This program also allows fire and EMS to conduct follow-up visits after being discharged from the emergency rooms, prescription drop-offs, and proactively meeting with the needs of our community. The plan exists in other states currently, and I have begun discussion with our state representatives, the mayor, and other elected officials. Many thought this was a great idea. In conclusion, I hope to partner with our school system, state, and local government to improve upon services and the quality of life for our Westland residents. It is my honor to have received the endorsements of State Representative Kevin Coleman, Mayor William R. Wild, City Council President Pro Tem Peter Herzberg, Westland Police Officers Association Union, Lieutenants and Sergeants Association, Wayne County Community College District Trustee, and former City Councilwoman Sharon P. Scott, Westland Planning Commissioner and former Wayne Westland School Board President Deborah Folks, current School Board President David Cox, and current School Board Member Mark Neal. There is so much we can do given the right leadership. And as a City Council member, I want to make that happen here. Thank you for your time, and I humbly ask for your vote on November 5th. For more information, please visit my Facebook page, Timothy Gilbert for Westland City Council. And thanks again.
Hi, I'm Councilman Jim Godbout, and I've served on the Westland City Council for over 18 years and as Council President for the past 10 years. The Council President position is voted on by my fellow council members every 2 years, and it's an honor to continue to be recognized by my peers for this leadership position. I want to continue serving the city and keep the positive transformation the city has experienced moving forward. During my time on the City Council, the city has accomplished a great many things while maintaining a fiscally responsible fund balance. A lot of changes and improvements have taken place in the city during my time on the council. We built 2 new fire stations and updated the others. We updated and modernized our police station and moved from the old City Hall building to an award-winning, state-of-the-art City Hall that provides better service for our residents and businesses while reducing costs. We worked out a deal with the schools and transformed an empty school building into the Jefferson Barnes Community Vitality Center. We worked with the county and remediated Central City Park that added new soccer fields, the farmers market and Lions pavilions, a new playscape, and the splash pad at that site. We've also invested in other parks and facilities with improvements to the Senior Friendship Center, the ice arena, golf course, Stottlemyre Park, Foss Park, J.C. Park, and Corrado Park, to name a few. From an infrastructure standpoint, we've replaced or repaired hundreds of miles of roads, relined or replaced sewers, and repaired and replaced water mains. We stopped developers from constructing substandard roads and added and replaced streetlights with new energy-efficient LED lighting. We've cleaned up neighborhoods, eliminated blighted buildings, and have attracted new businesses. We've been able to accomplish all of those things and more despite losing millions of dollars in state shared revenue funds and the significant loss of revenue due to the economic crisis in 2008 and 2009 that caused a significant decline in property values that affected not only our city, but also every city across the country. During that time, the cooperation of the police, fire, and municipal employee unions who agreed to significant concessions saved the city millions of dollars and will benefit the city with lower costs for years to come. I'm proud to say I have a good working relationship with all the city employees and have been endorsed by all of the labor units of the city. I'd like to thank the Westland Police Officers Association, the Westland Lieutenants and Sergeants Association, the Westland Professional Firefighters, our municipal employees, AFSCME Local 1602, and the UAW Local 174, our Westland Supervisors Union, for all their continued support. During the campaign, when out walking neighborhoods and talking to the residents, the one issue that keeps coming up has been restoring our recycling program. This issue hits very close to home. I worked hard with my colleagues on the council years ago to implement the first curbside recycling program. It started with those small bins that didn't hold much material, but because of its success, we expanded the program to the carts, which was so well received by the residents, the city had an 80% participation rate. Unfortunately, because of the shift in the materials commodity market on a global basis, the cost associated with disposing of the material increased dramatically, and we were forced to landfill the material. We're in the process of identifying and negotiating with alternate sources for the recyclable material collected, and I've been driving to have that in place very soon. In the meantime, please keep up the habit of sorting your recyclables from other waste so that when we do go live with the new program, we reduce the number of items that can contaminate an entire load. Since serving on the council, I believe I've demonstrated the ability to understand the complex issues, offer innovative suggestions and solutions, and work with my council colleagues, the mayors, and their administrations. We still have more to accomplish, and that's why I'm running for re-election to the City Council. I want to continue to serve the residents in a positive fashion and help the city continue with our forward momentum. I'd like to thank my wife, Sandy, who's been supportive and put up with me for 41 years. She's been extremely tolerant and understanding of the demands and intrusions that come with me being an elected official. I'd like to thank WLND for this opportunity to address you, and I'd like to thank all of the residents who have supported me in past elections. I look forward to your continued support and the support of all the residents of Westland on November 5th. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Deborah Kerr, and I'm asking for your vote for Westland City Council on Tuesday, November 5th. I have lived in Westland for 35 years. I'm married, have 3 grown children, and 2 grandsons. I worked for the United States Postal Service and retired after 30 years. During that 30 years, I was a city carrier, union steward, retail clerk, and my last 10 years as a supervisor of customer service. When I'm knocking on doors, many people say, every candidate boasts about their community service. What's so special about yours? Well, let me tell you. I started my community service in 1978 with the JCs. Ironically, women weren't considered full members until 1983. At that time, I jumped in with both feet. I dedicated my life working on projects to help my community, such as delivering hundreds of Christmas food baskets every year, raising money for First Step, a shelter for abused women, Christmas dinner for the police officers who had to work during the holidays, raising funds to build and maintain JC Park, raising tens of thousands of dollars which stayed in our community to help those in need. As a district director for the Michigan JCs, I was in charge of managing 7 chapters with 465 members. My work in the community and the Michigan JCs brought to me a lot of recognition and many awards, but my greatest honor was being awarded a United States JC International Senatorship, which is an award given nationally to approximately 1 out of every 50,000 JCs in the United States. When I claim community service, that doesn't mean I join a community organization or nonprofit group, show up at 1 or 2 events a year to get my picture taken and claim community service. That's not me. When I decided to do something, I go all in. Now let's talk about some of the concerns or issues that I have discussed with the residents when standing on their porch asking for their vote. Almost everyone brings up the condition of our roads. I looked into this and found out 80% of the funding for roads comes from the federal, state, and county governments. The funding for roads does not come from property taxes that the residents pay to the city. It comes from specialty taxes like the gas tax, sales tax, and vehicle registration fees. It seems to me that we need to be pressuring the sources of where that money comes from. It was never intended or designed for the cities to be repairing all these roads. That's not how this is supposed to work. Now let's talk about recycling. Well, why aren't we recycling? Some realize it's because our processing center has closed, yet others think it was a conscious decision to just stop recycling. With little research, it was easy to determine the places that accept recyclable goods are shutting down all over the state and country. There is no longer a market for the recyclable goods. This means that private industry will not be opening up any facilities in the near future. This will most likely leave burden on the local governments and the taxpayers to open up their own facility that will most likely operate at a loss of taxpayer dollars. Now the hot button that everyone brings up. How do we increase the manpower in our police and fire departments? After so many people asked me this, I questioned and I decided to dive into the city budget. From what I could determine, the general fund receives $25 million in property tax revenues, $9 million in state shared revenues, and $16 million from other sources. So that's $50 million to the general fund in unreserved dollars that can be spent at the city council's discretion. Last year, the city spent $33 million on public safety. This public safety expenditure represents 66% of our discretionary spending. I think this shows a big commitment by the city to our public safety. Over the last 8 years, the city has cut non-police and fire employees by more than 20%. They have also eliminated pensions and retiree health care for all hourly and salary employees, including the mayor and the clerk. This shows that there is no room to keep cutting personnel and departments to fund the hiring of more public safety employees. The only viable way to increase the staffing of public safety is to come up with new revenue sources. I'm not sure what these revenue sources may be, but it can't come from cutting more city services. I would like to thank WLND for giving me this opportunity, and also I would like to thank Mayor William R. Wild, Councilman James Hart, the Westland Democratic Club, and the hardworking employees at Local 1602 for their endorsement of my campaign. My name is Deborah Kerr. I humbly ask for your vote on Tuesday, November 5th. Please contact me with any questions at 734-748-3952. Again, 734-748-3952. Or email electdeborahkerr, all one word, at gmail.com. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Michael Londo, and I'm respectfully asking for your vote in the upcoming November election. But first, I want to say thank you. Thank you to the residents of Westland for your confidence and support of me. 2 years ago, I was honored and humbled to have been elected to serve you. I promised to work hard for our residents, and I've kept that promise. You have seen my work ethic, whether it be through preparation for meetings or active engagement with our wonderful community. I'm again asking for your support and your vote so that I can continue to work hard for all of you. Serving my community's working families at the local level is a tremendous opportunity and responsibility that I do not take lightly. My roots are in Westland. It's my home. It's where I grew up, where I went to school, and it's where I've devoted my public service. I'm running for re-election because I want to see our city continue to thrive. In 2 years on council, I have established a reputation of careful preparation, insightful questions, willingness to listen, and commitment to the community's best interests. To me, this position is not only about casting votes at our meetings, it is also about helping our community and the people that live in it. I have made myself available by instituting regular coffee hours with my colleagues. I've attended various community meetings and answered hundreds of messages and calls in a timely manner to ensure that citizen and community concerns have been heard and addressed. Making sure that I'm accessible to you and your family is one of my top priorities, and these community conversations are essential to be an effective public servant. I want you to know my door is always open to you and your family. Whether it's a trash issue, neighborhood blight, or crime related, I'm always here to help. I'm running for re-election to City Council because I love serving our community and working hard to ensure that Westland maintains the highest standards of public safety, outstanding amenities and services, and low taxes. When you're talking about the quality of life in a city, the very first thing is public safety. I firmly believe government's most essential duty is the protection of its people. Proper investment in public safety has a positive effect on quality of life, health, physical, and economic well-being for residents and businesses across Westland. It ensures we have the police and fire services needed to protect residents in neighborhoods, businesses and their employees, and visitors who come to experience all the amenities our community offers. In my 2 years on council, we have made significant investments into both our police and fire departments, ensuring they have the resources and personnel to keep us safe. Recently, Westland was named in the top 15 of safe cities in Michigan. I want you to know the safety and security of our residents will always be a top priority for me. Now I want to talk about attracting young talent. As a young person living in the state, they are constantly seeking places to live that are walkable, that are engaging, that are safe, that are fun, that really allow them to live their life in the community. We have to make sure that we're working with corporations, with small business, and our schools, making it a place that is open to innovation and entrepreneurship, and really making sure there are groundings for everyone in the community. I think once we have those collaborative conversations, we will really be able to fill in those open spaces that we have that may be areas where we end up losing talent to other cities or even states. One of the city's major projects that could be a public-private partnership is redeveloping the former City Hall and Bailey Recreation Center sites. That stretch of Ford Road is in the heart of Westland and is arguably our city's most traveled area. This area offers immense opportunities for redevelopment, and this future plan will be the driving force in spurring economic development and could transform Westland for a generation or more. I also believe we need to continue to focus on the importance of community infrastructure. When we talk about infrastructure, it's so much more than roads, bridges, and pipes, but it's everything that makes our community vibrant. It's our mobility, it's our planning, it's our walkability. Infrastructure isn't sexy, but it's critical in promoting the economic vitality and public health of our community. Failing infrastructure has a broader negative impact on our city's economy. I'm proud to say that during my time on City Council, we have invested over $14 million in infrastructure improvements from grants, local and major road money, and from the state of Michigan gas tax. It's important that we continue to invest in our community. This means we need to see continued investment in our parks and recreation, continued growth of our city services, while also improving our youth and senior programming so that people want to move to Westland and stay in Westland. These investments will strengthen Westland. Westland is a thriving community because of our parks and trails system. Residents and municipal leaders understand now more than ever the value of parks and recreation. People want to live in places with a high quality of life that protect the natural resources, are walkable, and provide affordable and accessible public spaces. I am proud to say that in my 2 years on council, we have made tremendous progress in our parks, including significant investments to our baseball fields at J.C. Park, Voss Park, and the Jefferson Barnes Community Vitality Center. We've also seen major upgrades to Stoudemire Park, the Mike Modano Ice Arena, and the Mac Mayfield Municipal Golf Course. Lastly, we need to invest in jobs and business right here in Westland. Like it or not, our retail landscape continues to change before our eyes. I believe the city needs to continue to attract more diversity in the businesses that invest and expand in Westland. There has been enormous success in drawing restaurants or retail stores, but there's much more out there. The more jobs and opportunities there are in Westland, the more that people will move into Westland. That will in turn generate more property tax revenue, enabling municipal services to improve and expand, which I believe is what we all want, isn't it? I'm running out of time, but I wanted to mention some community leaders and labor unions that I have earned the endorsements from, including our Mayor, William R. Wild, Council President James Godbout, Councilman Jim Hart, our State Representative Kevin Coleman, all of our city unions, including our Westland Police and Fire unions, and many more. These relationships are proving to be beneficial as we work together to move our city forward. However, the biggest endorsement I can receive is from you, and I respectfully ask for your vote on Tuesday, November 5th, or via absentee ballot so that I may continue to serve you for the next 4 years. It's never been easier to vote in Westland. Please call 734-793-9432 to request your ballot today. As your city councilman, I will continue to be fair, respectful, and accessible to my fellow Westland residents. If there are any matters you would like to discuss, please call me directly at 734-223-0200. Again, that number is 734-223-0200. You can also visit my website at votelando.com. I look forward to continuing to serve you and the residents of Westland. Together, let's make Westland the best place that it can be.
Hello, my name is Mike McDermott, and I'm working hard to earn your support and represent your interests and your interests only on the Westland City Council. I've had the privilege to go door to door throughout the community and speak with many of you directly. I'm grateful to every resident who has opened their doors in their homes and given me the opportunity to speak directly with you about the important issues facing our great city. For those I haven't yet met, I would like to take this time to speak with you as well. I chose to purchase my first home right here in our city. I live over off of Avondale and Wildwood at 652 Forest Street with my incredibly cute but overly spoiled black Labrador Retriever, Jetta. I put myself through school as a full-time student at Wayne State University, where I studied communications, political science, and Michigan politics. After attending Wayne State University and struggling to find a career in the midst of the Great Recession, I decided to go back to school. In 2014, I graduated from Walsh College of Business with a master's in human resource management. Having lived through the financial crisis as a college student, I knew that I couldn't stand on the sidelines any longer. And so I had to gain a better understanding of how our government, economy, and community were interconnected. Presently, I work in Southfield as an employment recruiter for a property management and development company called Sun Communities. Whether it is a 16-year-old just starting out looking for their first job or someone striving to build a career to support their family, I am fortunate to be a part of a profession that lifts people up and provides them with the financial stability, peace of mind, and opportunity of a better, brighter tomorrow. As a Westland resident here in the community, I've been active and involved in a variety of different ways. In 2018, I had the opportunity to work on the Wayne Westland Community Schools Bond Initiative. Working in partnership with members of the Wayne Westland School Board, teachers, staff, and residents in the community, we worked on the Get Out the Vote effort for the Bond Initiative to inform voters and get them to vote yes for the Wayne Westland School Bond. We were all proud to see that the school district's bond initiative passed overwhelmingly. I'm also proud to be an active member of many local groups and organizations, including the Westland Democratic Club, Western Wayne County NAACP chapter, the Michigan Poor People's Campaign, Sierra Club of Michigan, and Clean Water Action Michigan. For far too long, citywide elections here in Westland have been filled with negative and personal attacks that do nothing to benefit the residents of our city. Together, I know we can change that. I'm committed to running a positive campaign that is focused on the important issues that matter to all of us. If you visit my website, mcdermottformichigan.com. You can read my full 10-point plan and share your ideas for continuing the progress and building a strong, more diverse and inclusive city where everyone can call home. The safety of you and your family will always be a top priority for me. That is why I am honored to have the support and endorsement of our Westland Firefighters Union, Local 1279. I want to work with our public safety officials, members of the council, and community to expand community policing efforts in our neighborhoods and build diverse, strong relationships with residents. I want to support our police, fire, and EMS by ensuring they have adequate staffing levels and the funding necessary to provide the most up-to-date resources and equipment. To make sure these necessary resources are provided, we need to push our elected leaders in Lansing to increase revenue sharing to communities all across the state. In Westland, we've lost over $43 million over more than a 10-year period due to devastating revenue sharing cuts. That is unacceptable. Having listened to thousands of residents across Westland, I know much of you value our curbside recycling program. It is important that we work regionally with neighboring communities to develop long-term solutions and ensure adequate funding is available to protect our recycling and bulk trash pickup programs. With our Mission Green program, I want our city to be an innovator and a leader when it comes to combating the crisis of man-made climate change. We should all want real transparency and accountability in our city government. We can strengthen the bond between public servant and citizen by enacting a comprehensive ethics ordinance and reappointing residents to our currently vacant Board of Ethics. There is no excuse for why our Board of Ethics has sat vacant for over 10 years. And calling for an ethics ordinance and a reinstatement of our Board of Ethics, it isn't about pointing blame at any one person, but rather about ensuring open and transparent government for Westland residents. I have also made a pledge that during this campaign, I will not take 1 penny of campaign contributions from any contractor who has business dealings with the city of Westland. I'm proud to have the support of so many residents, state and local elected leaders, and labor unions across our community. For a full list of my endorsements, check out my website at mcdermottformichigan.com. As a Westland resident, I face the same day-to-day challenges as many of you across our community. As a city councilman, I promise to always be a strong, independent voice for the issues that matter to you and your family. I'm confident that what divides us will never be as strong as what can bring us together to do good here in Westland. You can learn more about my campaign and read my full 10-point plan by visiting mcdermottformichigan.com or by calling and messaging me directly at 734-890-2146. Again, that's 734-890-2146. When you fill out your absentee ballot or vote at the polls on Tuesday, November 5th, you have an incredibly important choice to make in who you will support. I hope that when you vote, I have earned one of your 4 votes for the Westland City Council. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Andrea Rutkowski, and I'm seeking your support and your vote on November 5th to represent you as Westland's newest City Councilwoman. As a proud graduate of the University of Michigan, with 12 years of experience owning and operating my own business and years of dedicated community service as a JC, I am equipped with the education and leadership skills to represent you and provide you with a voice that puts our safety and families first. There are 4 perspectives that I will bring with me as I serve you. My experiences as a daughter, a wife, a mother, and a leader. As a daughter, I am watching my parents and in-laws enter a new season of life as seniors. Westland provides many services and programs through Nankin Transit and the Friendship Center. However, we need to be vigilant and protect our seniors so that they don't fall victim to an ever-increasing amount of fraud. And we need to look at what aging in place means to our citizens and address ordinances that allow families to take care of each other. As a wife, I have been happily married to my husband, Eric, for 11 years. He is a professional firefighter, and that gives me a unique insight into the lives of our first responders. Though he doesn't serve in our community, the challenges he faces are very similar to the ones here. There is a national shortage of men and women answering the call to become police officers, firefighters, and paramedics. To get in front of this challenge, I would like to expand our cadet program and have it mirror the Explorer and PSA program that our police department has successfully used. This will allow us to fill vacancies with people who are dedicated to serving our community and those who want to stay in Westland. The only way we will be able to improve response times is to give our first responders the equipment and staffing necessary to do their jobs. 4 ambulances for a city of our size, with a growing and aging population, is not adequate to provide a level of care that we as citizens desire or that the firefighters desire to give us. These hardworking men and women want to serve this community, and we must stand behind them, ready to invest in the health and safety of our city. My husband and I are the proud parents of an amazing 5-year-old, and I want for my son the same thing any parent wants for their child: safe neighborhoods and opportunity. We must revitalize our recreation opportunities. Our playgrounds need the equipment for children to play on, and we can expand on the athletic offerings in the city and embrace other learning opportunities that let our children explore the world around them in a safe environment. We need to give our children the support and tools necessary to become successful adults. Mothers are future-focused. We know that one day our babies won't be so little and will be off to start their own lives. That's why it is important that we create opportunities that will help our young people choose Westland as their home. We cannot ignore that the day of big box stores is coming to an end. As your councilwoman, I will actively pursue new businesses and opportunities for our city. We need to develop our vacant areas to provide a thriving downtown that will retain and attract young talent. We need developments that provide mixed-use space that will embrace innovation, technology, and entrepreneurship while providing housing, retail, entertainment, and green space that is desirable to young professionals. Lastly, but certainly not least, I come to you as a leader. I am proud to be a graduate of the University of Michigan. I will take my education, my 12 years as a business owner, and my proven award-winning leadership skills I developed while serving the community as a JC and put them to work for you. I am humbled that as a first-time candidate, I have received 22 endorsements, ranging from members of our council and our mayor to leaders of other municipalities. I am supported by many of the unions that represent the workers of our city and the unions and organizations that represent a large majority of our citizens. I believe that government should be transparent. You need to know why a particular decision was made and how your tax dollars are being used. When you elect a council person, you are saying to them, represent me. Be my voice. Improve my city. Protect me and my children. You are charging me with the responsibility of being aware of what's happening in your neighborhood. You are asking me to find new sources of revenue to protect our services, increase our home values, and champion a vibrant community we can all be proud to call home. I promise to hear you and to use common sense leadership when it comes to your interests. Thank you for watching this broadcast, and please reach out to me directly at any time through my website, ivoteandrea.com. One more time, that's ivoteandrea.com. You can also reach me at 734-716-8255 734-716-0294. Once again, that number is 734-716-0294. Thank you, and remember to vote Andrea on November 5th.
Hi everyone, I'm Richard LeBlanc and I'm a candidate for re-election as your city clerk. Thank you for your support over the past 28 years. It's been an honor to have been elected 10 times and I hope you'll choose to vote for me again on November 5th. Many of you know that prior to becoming your city clerk, I served 2 terms as your Wayne County Commissioner. Prior to the commission, I was your state representative in Lansing for 3 terms until I became term limited in 2012. You've also elected me to the Westland City Council 3 times and once to the school board. Westland has been very generous with their support of my public service, and I am truly grateful. My family located here in the 1950s. I'm a hometown kid, born and raised here. I graduated from John Glenn High School, and we still live here after all of these years. My wife Cheryl and I were neighbors, and we got married when we were both still kids. And early next year, we will celebrate our 40th wedding anniversary. Our 2 sons graduated from John Glenn just like I did, and today they're raising their own families, which includes our 4 grandchildren. I have a bachelor's degree from Concordia College in Ann Arbor. I've also attended Wayne State University, where I have 9 credits toward a master's degree. My employment history includes the Ford Motor Company, General Motors, 22 years with the Canton Police Department, 2 years with the Walled Lake Police Department, and a lot of local service as a volunteer and as a member of dozens of boards, commissions, and civic groups. 2 months after becoming city clerk in 2016, I began the 3-year clerk accreditation program offered by Central Michigan University. It's a pleasure to say I'm now a certified Michigan municipal clerk, and my peers in the graduating class of 2018 voted me as the leader of our class. I thank the Mayor and City Council for authorizing the resources to allow me to become certified through CMU. I'm also serving as the Vice President of the Association of Wayne County Clerks, having been elected by my clerk and deputy clerk colleagues. Now, 4 years ago when I asked for your vote, I shared promises and goals. Everything I said we would do, we've done. Working together with other city officials and employees, we've implemented changes and created efficiencies that have saved tax dollars, time, and effort. 4 years ago, I said I wanted to initiate an outreach effort to enhance voter awareness. The hope, of course, was that more people would register to vote and that more people would actually vote on Election Day. Part of that outreach included registration of students at the 4 high schools serving Westland, attendance during city events, personal doorstep service to residents, and a whole lot more. And thanks to you, we now have more than 61,000 registered voters, and each election, we've broken records for voter turnout. 4 years ago, I shared my belief that we could be more transparent. I wanted official city documents to be available to the public electronically, and I'm pleased that during my service, we've digitized records and documents to allow the public greater access at no additional cost. We've continued to convert paper data to electronic data within our existing budget every year. That has proven to be an incredible efficiency, and while there's much more to do, we've made significant progress. Our business licensing process has been converted to an electronic submission format. This has been very well received. Instead of traveling to City Hall to renew their licenses, people can now do it online. And though the city is still working toward electronic payment options, it is a far better system. I've updated every license as well as every license application. We have fillable forms on our portion of the city website, and people have told us they appreciate that convenience. Just one example, I took a 16-page paper license application, modified it, updated it, and it's now a 4-page electronic application that can be completed and submitted through the internet. I did the same thing with our entry-level police officer and firefighter applications as well. Another promise I made 4 years ago was to offer an online public version of the City Council meeting agenda packet. Done. I thank the Mayor and City Council for seeing the advantage of this and for allowing our office to post the packets online prior to every City Council meeting. To the best of my knowledge, we're the only town in our area that's doing this. You know, those are big things, but sometimes it's also the little things that are important. And one example was a suggestion I received through Facebook. The person asked if I can include an I voted sticker in the absentee ballot envelopes that are mailed to the homes. We began that last year and voters love it. You know, as I ask for your vote to continue my service as your city clerk, I wish to assure you that election administration and security is at the highest level. Our integrity, our conduct, our service to residents, and our attention to detail cannot be compromised, and that's a promise. Numerous people and associations have endorsed my campaign. To name just a few, our Westland firefighters, Westland police officers, Westland supervisory employees, Westland DPS employees, and the UAW. A fair number of elected officials and many other people and organizations are also supporting my reelection. However, I've said this in the past, I'll say it again. The most important endorsement is yours, and I'm respectfully asking for you to consider voting for me again. So as I conclude, please consider visiting my personal Facebook page at facebook.com/RepLeBlanc. My email address is richard@richardleblanc.com. Our home telephone number has been listed for 40 years. So please call or write with any questions or suggestions that you might have. For this election, there's 2 candidate items on the ballot, and one of those items is the re-election of our city clerk. My name is Richard LeBlanc, and on Tuesday, November 5th, I hope to again have your vote for Westland City Clerk. Thank you.